Yo, what is up? Maine Fly Guys here, another tutorial. Today we're tying in, I don't know what you want to call it, an electric copper john or something in that, family, at least. There it is. So a little electric lime green copper john. Starting with a size 14 hook. This is a Firehole Nymph wet hook. Tungsten black bead, 30 seconds. This is Montana Fly Company. Little black bead. And this is a UV Senio laser dub. This is chartreuse. I'm just doing a little dubbing ball because I am going to add a turkey biot tail. And turkey biot is notoriously difficult to work with. So I utilize a fluorescent ball to kind of give it one, some extra pop, and two, to get the tail some extra flair. So here's my turkey biots. These are black, and you want to put them so they're sloping away from each other. And then I like them to be about the length of the body. So what I'm going to do is pinch them in the right spot, and then I'm just going to wrap them. Okay, and then I get a nice pinch there, nice spread, nice and even, and I'm going to continue wrapping these up, and then I'm going to work my way back. Now, because we're going to be making a wire body, you want a nice, there we go, that's beautiful. You want a nice and even slope, excuse me, of the body, because if you don't, then the wire will wrap funny. So here's my wire. It's a lime green or chartreuse small UTC wire, brand new, fresh out the pack. And I like to trap it in on the side because if you trap it, if you look at aquatic insects, if you really look at them, they're not tall because they need to be streamlined to avoid drag in the current. So a lot of them are not tall this way, but they're wide this way, right? They're wide horizontally. So I always lay my wire on the side because I feel that that's a more accurate representation of an actual aquatic insect. And that's really what I'm trying to do here, is imitate an aquatic insect. So I'm going to taper it up a little bit, gradually. So you see, I don't know if you can see, there's just a little taper there. It's really not that aggressive. I'm going to taper it just ever so slightly. And there we go. So now I have a little taper. I like to finish my body at least an eye length behind the bead head. Alright, so now I'm just going to start doing touching wraps. I'll do my best to get all of these to touch right exactly on one another. But I'm going to speed this up for you guys anyways, so hang tight. Okay, so now we are going to start the thorax, and the first thing that I'm going to lay down is I have some polar flash here, and what I've done is taken a few strands of this polar flash, and that is going to be sort of a flash on my thorax. So what I'm going to do is tie it down, make sure that it's centered. That's really the most important part, is that it's centered directly on top. So kind of wiggle it around until you get it where you need to be. Work backwards. Save some room by the head so that you have a little bit to cut, so you can cut a little bit. So I'll just throw that on the ground. And then go ahead and just make sure that it's secure and all your wraps are even and things are looking good. Let's see how they're looking right now. Looks decent. Now, since this is a curved down eye, the bead will always be a little tilted there. But once you get your thorax in place, it really isn't even going to matter. There we go, looks pretty good. Okay, so we'll work back. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some black dubbing. This is just straight black dubbing, and you do not need a lot. You really don't, because you already kind of have a bulky thorax here, so you don't need to make it too bulky. So what I'm going to do is just take a few wraps right about midway. That's not too bad. And then I am going to add 2 more turkey biots for legs. 1 on each side, and I want them to be about the length, let me see if I can show you here. Be about the length of the body, so right about there. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna make sure that when you're laying them down, that the curve, so you see how this one kind of curves down, that curve is going away from the fly. It's always going away from the fly. Okay, so there's one. See how it's going away? You guys can see that on the back side. So there's one, and then I'm going to throw in one more. Excuse me while I do this real quick. Now, if you're not careful, if you're not careful, your turkey biots will want to roll on you. So as soon as you feel comfortable, cut them and lock them in. You really want to lock in those ends, because once you lock in the ends, they ain't going nowhere. So here's what we got now. They're about the length of the body, right? Pretty close to it. I got 2, and we're utilizing that dubbing behind. That's what's really helping them flare out, is that dubbing. So I'm going to continue with the dubbing. And you should only need a few more wraps, maybe just a touch more there. My biggest recommendation for dubbing is start with less and add more when you need it, because everyone always uses too much dubbing. Alright, so now we're going to take our flash, and I'm just going to lay it right over, catch it once, twice. I'm going to give it a good cinch, and then I'm going to wrap once right behind the bead just to really give it a good cinch. Now I'll cut it as close as I can, and you'll notice there's a little, if you're like me, there's a little fray on top, and that's frustrating, but it does not matter because it's going to be kind of covered up. Okay, so what we're going to do now is whip finish. We're going to whip finish. But this is Raid Zap medium, and I like medium for my shells because it's a little thicker. And you can take your time with this, because if you mess this up, it's really tough to fix. So there we go. Always, always, always have a nice pair of tweezers in hand. Alright, and I give it a little shake just to even it out. How's that look? Not bad. Not bad. There's a little point there on the front, which I'm not a super fan of. But again, it's not that bad. Alright, so that's pretty good. I'm going to let it settle a little bit and then hammer it real quick with the light. Alright, and there you have it. There's our little bright copper john. Nice little flashback. So thanks for watching, everyone. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Check us out on Instagram, or check out our website, maineflyguys.com. We put up a bunch of new stuff all the time. So thanks for the support, everyone. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And thanks for watching.